Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening to the stock, what we can expect moving forward and all of that good stuff. And as per usual, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my technical analysis, etc., I do share my thoughts pretty much every single day. The market is open for just $3 a month. That link is below in the description of the video, at the top of the description, where I, again, share my thoughts every single day, mainly on Tesla stock with the $3 tier. Sometimes I'll share bonus stocks that I'm seeing as well. Like today I shared Walmart, for instance. Well, I know it's a bit of a boring one, but nothing wrong. It's a very consistent stock, very powerful business. Yeah, so I shared Walmart today, or for $5 a month, actually, you get access to everything I just said, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well in the membership section. But jumping into it, NVIDIA closing the day with an absolutely phenomenal day, almost 4% on the day, closing at just shy of $140 per share. So what does this mean moving forward to NVIDIA, right? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? What's next, essentially, is I'm sure people are wondering. So on last weekend, pretty much on Friday, I mentioned how the chart is looking very good, man. I was very excited about the chart, and I'm even more excited now, arguably, right? Why? Because before we bring out, all the other indicators, just strictly looking at the levels, strictly looking at the patterns, we have arguably broken out of this descending wedge. Beautiful stuff. Again, I don't really care about the bottom one too much, right? The bottom one's not really important. Usually when you're descending like this, the top one is the one that matters. And when you're ascending, the bottom one is the one that matters. So the bottom one, we don't really care. What we care about is this one. And we broke out of it. We actually finally broke out of it after getting resisted, obviously initially up here where we started it, but also over here. Got pretty close over here, but you can see we actually broke out of it today. So now, is NVIDIA good to go? Is it ready to blast off? Close, very, very close. And the reason I say it's close is because there's still something else that can happen that may catch people a little bit off guard. And that could be a bit of a sell-off. And I'll explain why I think that might be the case, but I will explain my overall thought process regardless. So because we broke out of this little descending, resistance line, if you will, that's obviously very, very bullish. I like to see that. Very good. However, I do want to see 140 reclaimed. I've been talking about 140 many, many times, right? It has been a very important level in the past. You can see many times it's acted as a support and a resistance over and over and over and over. We definitely want to turn 140 back into support. That's the first step that bulls really want to accomplish. We have accomplished turning the mid 130s into support. That was good. Remember how I mentioned that? Resistance here, and then we turned it into support today. Beautiful. That was step number one. I mentioned that. Number two, like I said, was a combination of a few things. 140 back to support. And I also really want to see the bands turn into, not these ones, sorry. I want to see both of these, right? I want to see both of these turn back into support. Now, we are arguably getting ready to turn the EMA band, which you can see here, into support. We technically are already, but now we just need to flip to green, and even better, phenomenal. And the way that'll happen is by essentially either going sideways here, and or if we drop, not too much of a drop, or ideally really just go above 140 and start holding 140 as support. Those are the main ideal scenarios that you want to see NVIDIA happen. Now, again, the reason I say that, we might not be ready to fully blast off just yet is because the RSI is starting to get to overbought territories. Keep in mind, my RSI is in a much more aggressive state. So just because it is getting to overbought doesn't mean it has to obviously sell off, but it's starting to get there. And the reason I say that there's a chance we might sell off and might catch people off guard is simply a nice little move back to the downside, reconfirm the mid 130s, we'll say 135, 136 as support, kind of reconfirm that on a fresh daily candle, but more importantly, to retest this breakout and then make our way higher, right? That's going to be the main thing I'll be watching for. Now, the thing with breakouts is you don't always get a breakout retest. For instance, let me show you a couple of examples. Tesla, for instance, on the weekly, broke out of all-time highs, right? And then it came down today to retest it, and so far successfully, right? That's number one. Nice breakout, nice retest, and as long as it holds, you assume you continue upwards. However, Apple, you can see here, for instance, doesn't always do that, right? For instance, a massive, massive move up, and it hasn't really come back down to retest this old area of resistance. Now, obviously, it did the same thing over here. You can see massive area of resistance here, and it broke out. Went up pretty aggressively before finally coming back down to turn it into a support, and then it went up even higher, right? So you have to understand that you don't usually get the retest right away. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you never get them, right? Especially if it's a smaller thing like this, right? In this NVIDIA little breakout that we had, it's a little bit on the smaller side, in my opinion, compared to that Apple one that I just showed. But nonetheless, the point is the fact that there is a chance, no one knows for sure, that if we do get some pain tomorrow or Thursday or whatever, that I don't think we'll go much lower than mid 130s, because if we do, I think trouble will start to, it won't be as bullish anymore. Let's just say that. I don't think we will. I think if we do get a little bit of a sell-off, I actually think we'll hold the mid 130s, 135, 136. I don't expect us to drop down below that because, again, 140 is still resistance. We still need to break it past 140. That's, obvious. But the market bias is still resistance. We need to turn this market bias also into a support. So it's not, we're not out of the woods yet, right? But it's looking better with each passing day. Absolutely no question about that. MACD is on the verge of flipping bullish. Stochastic already flipped bullish. So there's a lot of good things lining up. We are getting very close. Like a lot of things the pieces are falling into place one piece at a time. And it's looking much better, but we're still missing just a couple more pieces. Just a few more pieces is all we need. And I think this thing is ready to, at the bare minimum, retest all-time highs at about $150 per share. But if we ever close a daily candle above 150, which I think we will, but if we do, of course, that's very good news. And I think 160 is easily next. Honestly, but sometime in January, I really do believe that's the case. So yeah, from here, just this breakout alone is a really good sign for me. Again, if I were to remove every other indicator, if I were just to only trade strictly off of, patterns, resistance, support, etc., and literally nothing else, I would look at this chart and I'll be very bullish. I'll be very bullish, and I'll be even more bullish above 140. And that's probably the main way I'll be looking at NVIDIA moving forward. I think it's setting up beautifully. I think it's looking phenomenal. There is a chance we get a bit of a stalling session here. There is a chance that we find 140 as a resistance. There even is a chance we come down to 135 once again, but I expect 135 to hold if we do go there. And again, with our side like this, there is a chance that we around 140, 139, something like that. Maybe some sideways action. But again, all I'm trying to say is ignore this noise. This breakout, it should be good. Obviously things can fall apart, but just strictly off of this, things should be good. We should overall head higher in the weeks to come. And this short-term noise is, it's just gonna be noise. All it is that's all it's gonna be. It's all gonna be noise. And if we actually get a red day, let's say tomorrow or something like that, I will most likely sell potentially even fairly aggressive cash triggered puts. I did enter more shares today on the breakouts at around 137, I think it was. And I'm happy and I'm holding, and I will add more. If I see it come back down to mid 130s again, I'll probably buy more shares, and I will also probably sell more cash triggered puts, because I think the chart's setting up absolutely beautifully, and I'm very, very bullish on this chart. As long as things don't fall apart, of course, which I don't think they will. But yeah, that's probably the main thing I'm looking at. And really, it's just that simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things too much. We're above the Bollinger Bands in the middle section, which is also a good sign, because the middle section is kind of a support / resistance. We're above it now, which is a good sign to see. You can see it was kind of acting as a bit of a resistance here. And the very, very short-term bands on the Bollinger Bands, it kind of comes with the specific one I have, rated a buy signal, and the band turned green. So the short-term kind of bleeding should be done as well. So any pullbacks from here, again, obviously things can change, but based on what it looks like right now, any pullbacks we get, especially to the mid 130s, I personally view them as opportunity. I really just currently view them as an opportunity, and it's really just that simple. There's not much more to it, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes moving forward. Take a look at options flow very quickly to see what's happening over there. And the bulls are absolutely unbelievably dominating the bears once again. It seems like the NVIDIA bulls are back in motion, which is interesting because, when I was looking at the Tesla options flow, it's a little bit more muted and mixed as well, but more muted, right? Definitely less activity on Tesla, much more activity on NVIDIA now. I'm starting to wonder if the momentum is flipping from Tesla to NVIDIA once again, and Tesla, maybe stalls out a bit, doesn't have as crazy euphoria for now, and NVIDIA gets the attention again, and the king is finally back. The king is awakened. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, because if you go here, also 50 million confirmed bullish flow on NVIDIA as well. So there is a damn good chance that the king has finally awoken from his slumber, and it's time to party. Now, whether or not that's time to party tomorrow or, the day after, I don't know. I don't know when. I don't know how long it'll take. That's the thing I don't know. But it does feel like the king is waking from the slumber. It really feels like that. It really, really does feel like that. So let's see moving forward over the next few weeks. But either way, I'll keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.